So I'm making this video because I just took the abortion pill on Friday, and I went through with the the second set of pills on Saturday. This is Monday morning, and I've been dealing with it, of course, the last few days. And yesterday, I was alone and sad, and I just wanted to hear other stories and see how other women coped and dealt with it and healed from it. And I didn't find that many videos. I was also curious how long I would continue to bleed for, etc. And also, um, that wasn't clearly expressed in any of the few videos that I did find online. I'm also going to make a short video and just give my story so that hopefully it can also help someone else. I took the pills from Planned Parenthood, the first set of one pill, and once I swallowed it, that was it. It was done. There's no turning back. Maybe that's not the best place to start. I found out I was pregnant 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, and I was very upset because, for many reasons, I'm not obviously ready to have a baby right now. I actually became pregnant with my ex-boyfriend, a man I had been with for 2 years, and we were in the breakup process. And crazy coincidence that it had to happen during our breakup, but I became pregnant then. And so it was awful, horrible, awful timing, already a very painful moment in my life. And then to actually become pregnant with the person I was splitting up with has made everything much more painful. So there is no way I would raise a child as a single mother right now. I grew up with a single mother, and it was very hard for me as a child, and I imagine becoming a mother one day and doing that in with a family, with a husband, with a father who's there and committed. Because it's hard for me growing up alone and watching what my mother went through. And also financially, I'm not ready. The phase of my life right now, I'm not ready to have a child. So the decision was not easy. It wasn't this simple. I'm gonna have an abortion, and that's it. And it's not a big deal, and I feel fine about it. I know I had to have an abortion, but I was sad about it. I felt guilty. I feel guilty that I had to stop a life that was being created in me. It's sad. Yeah, it fucking is sad to have to, I'm not sure if I can swear on YouTube. I've never made a YouTube video. It's really sad to have to stop life that was starting and forming in me. So I have been crying a lot. I have been feeling a lot. I didn't want to go overboard and over animate what was being created, forming inside of me. But I absolutely acknowledge that there is life being formed inside of me, and I feel responsible, and I'm very sorry. So after swallowing the first pill, it's basically done. There's no turning back. Really amazing is that my ex-partner has been very mature and available and responsible and had accompanied me to Planned Parenthood and waited for me in the waiting room, drove me there and drove me home, stayed with me the entire day Friday. He actually slept over Thursday night to be with me. We still love each other. We just, the relationship wasn't working. And then Friday night also stayed with me after I took the first pill. It was a sad day. I did not feel any side effects, just sadness, just mental side effects of this is it. I am going through an abortion. Just sadness was the only side effect. I don't have regrets. I saw a few videos of women completely regretting the experience. I don't regret it. It's what had to be done. But yes, I am still very sad. Then on Saturday, him and I went to the beach and we performed a ritual to help send off the spirit and apologize. And in that ritual, I read prayers. I created some prayers and burned incense, sage, and a few other things. And then I took the second set of 4 pills, and I put them in my cheeks. Those are the variety I got that you put in your cheeks. And you wait half hour and then you swallow what hasn't dissolved in your mouth down with a glass of water. So I took that second set on the beach, and we sat there for a half hour. I continued to read prayers as the pills were in my cheeks dissolving. They didn't actually dissolve almost at all. My mouth was very dry. I think it was very painful and sad moment. So I actually ended up having to wash it mostly down with some water that I had. And we were down at a beach that was climbed down. So to exit the beach, we had to climb back up. And we stayed. I took the pills at 5 p.m., 4:30, and we left the beach around 5:30, 5:45. And I got up, we packed up and started walking up. And within a few minutes of walking upwards, it was terrible, but I felt blood gushing out of me. I was already wearing a pad. It wasn't physically painful with cramping or anything, but it was horrible to feel the blood coming, because I knew that was it. That the miscarriage was happening. And yeah, it's really sad to feel that, at least for me. I'm very sensitive, and I just knew exactly what was happening. The blood was being lost, the more the baby was forming, it was being destroyed, it was falling apart. So it was very sad walking up, and I had to hold on to him, and of course every step I took further up was a stronger gush, and I didn't want to move. I didn't want to feel it gushing out. I wanted to be home. But anyways, that wasn't what was happening. It happens fast, so basically they say the bleeding and cramping kick in about 2 to 4 hours after swallowing the pill. I basically felt it within an hour. I felt the bleeding, but no cramping, contractions, etc. And then we got in the car and drove back to the city where I live, and that took another probably half hour. I got home. Well, walking out of the car was terrible. I just felt like I was bleeding and dripping on the street, which I was not, but it was awful. I don't regret being at the beach and starting to bleed. I had a pad on, um, which didn't hold everything, but it's okay. I was safe enough with my ex-partner that I was fine. I got home. At home, I immediately just laid down, put a towel on the bed. We sat in silence. He just held me. And yeah, mild cramping started, to begin with, mild. It got worse. I took one Vicodin before the ceremony we did, so actually probably 2 hours before I started bleeding. I just took one Vicodin and it helped put my head in a fuzzy place. Pretty sure it releases serotonin. I don't know, some happy, fuzzy chemicals. So I was feeling pretty calm. The pain was not excruciating. It did cramp, it did hurt. And anyways, this is going on. It continued for probably an hour, 2 hours. I was just waiting in bed. I think we began a movie to watch. And would pause it occasionally because, of course, he didn't want the movie to be the focus. It was just to help pass the experience a bit. And anyways, probably quite on the dot, I began to feel huge surges of energy for about 4 hours, 4.5 hours after taking the pill, swallowing it. And those huge surges of energy, I thought I was going to vomit. It was like rushes of energy, like head rushes. And it was this overwhelming head rush, crazy energy I was feeling. And I thought I was going to vomit, and I was sweating and got really overwhelmed and shaky. And I knew something big was happening. I thought perhaps maybe I was just about to puke, or that really hard contractions were going to start, like a lot of pain, because I wasn't in excruciating pain. It wasn't like knives stabbing in my stomach or anything. It was just like ugly, thick cramping. And I had been going to the bathroom for the last several hours, changing pads, and I had been putting my pads in a plastic bag separately. Yes, there were clots. I was only 4 weeks pregnant, literally. They counted as 6 weeks because that was when I last got my period, but literally 4 weeks had something been starting to grow inside of me. So the blood clots initially weren't outrageous, but they were there and they were strange, and I couldn't help but feel like treating them with respect, not just letting them go into a toilet. So I actually collected everything that came out of me and put it in a bag. And when this crazy surge of energy happened, I don't know why, I just wanted to go to the bathroom. It was too much to sit on the bed or be on the floor of my room. I crawled to the bathroom. I didn't want my ex to see what was happening exactly. It's pretty animal. If I felt like an animal, it's very raw, very crude nature. I went to the bathroom and I knew something was gonna come out of me, and I just cupped my hand underneath me and I caught what came out of me, and it was a big clump, probably the size of an apricot, and I believe that was probably I don't know, placenta material, cellular padding. I don't know, it's just tissue. I don't know. I saw it for a second, wailed, crying, and put it in the bag with the rest of the pads and stuff. It was horrible, and I knew that was the moment that it passed. In the pamphlets they give you at Planned Parenthood, they use the expression, "you will pass your pregnancy," and it's a very accurate, for me it felt, it sounds like a very accurate way to describe what happened. Like, I passed the pregnancy through me. It went through and you passed it out. And it was horrible. Not pain-wise, I don't feel, oh, I regret, I wish I never did it. I had to do it. Just because that's my situation. I'm not ready to have a child. To be pregnant for 9 months and wasn't ready financially, emotionally, physically. So yeah, anyways, the night, and it was a sad night. No severe cramping. I only took one Vicodin, no Advil, nothing else. And I knew it was over. I felt empty. That's it. There's no life being created in me anymore. And so, yeah, it was sad. It was sad that this had to happen. I'm sorry it happened in the first place. Yeah, I will never be reckless with sex ever again. I never wish this upon anyone, and I never want to ever go through this again. It just wasn't. It's a horrible choice to have to make for me. And I'll be getting one of those arm inserts at Planned Parenthood in a few days when I go for the checkup. To conclude, the following day, yesterday, Sunday, my ex and I went to the same beach where we did the ceremony, and I brought the pads and remnants, and we went to a really private part of the beach that we actually had to climb over rocks to get to, so people actually don't ever go there. No one ever goes there, unless perhaps maybe a certain time of the year the tide is super low, but it was actually kind of dangerous getting there. But I wanted to be alone, and these are already desolate beaches, the ones I'm near here. They're not visited very much. And we dug a hole, and I buried the clumps and covered it back with sand, and then I wrung out my pads in the ocean. I just didn't feel comfortable throwing all of this into a garbage or toilet. It felt too real and personal and carnal to let it go into a toilet or plastic trash bag. I wanted it to decompose and go back to nature as quickly as possible in that form. Bleeding is not heavy anymore. It was only heavy during the actual abortion moment, the miscarriage moment, and I continued to bleed, of course. I have been continuing to bleed since then, but it's like a regular menstrual flow. I hope it stops soon. It's sad, it's depressing to keep seeing blood, and to know what my body went through and that it lost something. I hope this was helpful in describing, perhaps. Yeah, this is the videos I saw were not graphic. They were helpful. What other women gave in the videos I saw, but I just think I just had a very different experience, and I don't mind talking about it a little bit graphically. I hope I wasn't too graphic. Just so it can perhaps be helpful for someone who's curious what the heck is going to happen. That is what happened to me, and that's how I chose to deal with it. And I don't wish this upon anyone, and I hope everyone stays safe out there.